Hi, I'm Dana, and I'm doing another one that's a reply to a lot of similar comments that I get. So as always with this type of video, I want to really make very clear at the start that I'm not trying to shit on anyone, I'm not trying to invalidate anyone. I really appreciate you sharing your opinions with me, because that's all I'm doing on this channel, is sharing my thoughts and opinions and what I reckon on stuff. So I really appreciate it when that's returned. This isn't saying that you're wrong. I think that it's very normal and healthy that we would have different opinions, because we're different people and we have different wants and needs and experiences and a whole bunch of different nuance and context that leads us to have the opinions that we have. And I very much respect that. But that being said, I quite consistently see an opinion that makes me sad. Like, it's not even that I necessarily disagree with it, because you've seen the title, you're very well aware of what we're getting into here. But one of the fairly regular comments that I get when I talk about experiences that I've had within my family and relationships and friends is the oh, I've just given up on people. I've given up on people. There is no point trying to communicate with people, there's no point trying to connect with people, it doesn't work, it doesn't happen, everybody is awful, there is just no point in trying to make any sort of human connection happen. As autistic people, just everyone is always going to use and abuse us and manipulate us and prey on our vulnerabilities, and there's no point going out anywhere, there's no point talking to anyone, everybody is horrible. And I get it. I so massively get it, the types of comments, the types of videos that I get that comment on, it's the experiences that had me in complete isolation for years afterwards, because I was so hurt. And so I don't understand what went wrong in this situation. I don't understand why someone would behave like this. I don't understand how my behaviour reflected on me like this, and they mistook it in this way and they thought I was doing I just have so much confusion and upset and hurt and anger and just a whole host of horrible negative emotions around so many of the relationships that I've had throughout my life. And like I said, after not each of them, but after a lot of them, I've had very long periods of isolation and not feeling like I'm able to connect with anyone, and being absolutely fucking terrified of connecting with anyone, because it's just gonna happen again. It's what keeps happening, it's the pattern. And that's where I also don't necessarily disagree with what anyone is saying, I very do have a different opinion that we're going to get into, but I've had that opinion, I've been in that situation, I understand, I don't necessarily think you're wrong. I think it is incredibly difficult to rebuild the belief that people can be kind, people can be good, it can be good to have connections with people, it can be easy to communicate with some, all of that kind of stuff. It is extremely difficult to rebuild trust in humanity as a whole, as in any individual, when you've put that trust and love and support and whatever else into someone and it's fucking backfired and gone horribly. But that being said, one of the big existential crises that I had from the age of 12 or 13 up until 24 was that I was very what is the point of life? What's the point of being alive? Somebody please tell me, because I need to think that there is some sort of point or reason for all of this. What is the point of human existence? Why are we here? What do we do? It was on my mind every fucking day for a decade and a bit. And it's one of those things that sort of just slipped out of being something that I think about, because I decided that the point of life is to be happy and to try to be content and just try to have a fucking good time and enjoy myself. And fortunately or unfortunately, I do need people for that, And that's why, again, I don't think anyone having any of the commenters saying that type of thing are necessarily wrong, because we all have different wants and needs. And it's very much that for me, in my situation, in my experience, I enjoy things more and I have a better time if I'm doing things with people, I do very much think that as much as my base core ideology that I've come up with for myself in my life is very much have a good time. And lots of things do involve doing things on my own, because I don't have somebody to do it with. So I do it on my own because I want to have a good time, and I think that's the point of being alive. I would have a better time doing a lot of the things if I did it with somebody else. And beyond just the doing things and going out and experiencing the world with people, not only do I enjoy it more, but it's also a hell of a lot easier, because I have really bad anxiety. So if I can walk into a concert venue with a friend instead of having to walk in on my own and be where the fuck is everything, what am I doing? It's just nicer, it's easier, I don't stress as much, it's a more pleasant time. But like I said, outside of like the big events, the big doing things, just on the day-to-day, having human connections, having people that care about the things I'm doing with my day, being able to message my group chat and be like, I just replied to an email, validate me, and having other people be like, I just sorted my meds, I just did. Big shock, my memory ran out again. Sorry if it looks a bit different. I had to watch the video that I just imported to know what I was talking about. But being able to just be provided with validation and provide it back and have a back and forth and a support system in that manner. And like, don't get me wrong, I would really love if my support system was more in real life. We quite consistently in my group chat have like the joke of the commune, but also I would love to be able to live nearby my friends and have an actual in-person community, and like on the nights when I'm struggling be like, can I come over for dinner, and have the other nights when I'm like, can I cook everyone dinner, and just be able to help each other out. I'm going to the shop, do you need anything? Oh, you're going to the shop, I need this. Like the really little things that I feel like we've forgotten are a part of like community, you know? And I think that's where people often also aren't thinking about the fact that people can provide each other with a lot, you know? Like I've quite often said in the group chat that I'm going to like take advantage of a friend by asking them for help with this thing. And it's like, well, they offered me the help. I'm not taking advantage of them. But also I am taking advantage of the fact that I have a nice and kind friend who's willing to help me with that thing. And I hope that if I have something that's of use to them, they will take advantage of me for that as well. And I think that when it's a healthy friendship, it's the back and forth, it's brilliant and it's amazing and it's beautiful. And I think that it's, especially for neurodivergent people, or at least for me and the people that I know that are close to me, it feels pretty fucking important and like something that it's definitely something I'm going to be striving towards, you know? I really don't want to push that this is the way to go and the way to live, because I do also very much understand that as neurodivergent people, some people don't want to fucking be around anyone. Like, as much as you might need the support of like somebody cooking your meals or somebody doing this and that for you, you might not want it to be a friend that you have to talk to. You might rather struggle with that thing than be around people. Like, I do understand having different opinions and wanting different things. I really, really do. This is very much just my opinion, you know? But like I said at the start, I do think it's one of the things where it makes me sad, because I think that a lot of the people commenting have been in the very similar situations to me, where we've just gotten really fucking unlucky with the people that we're around, and it's absolutely fucking sucked, and it's been so hard. And like I said, it's incredibly difficult to rebuild any sort of trust in people and believe that people can be good and people can be kind. But I also very much think that for me, it's a massive part of my healing journey and like the path that I'm on, and it's something that I need to be able to do, you know? Like, I think there's also a level of, obviously, like, I don't know the situation of the people that are commenting that kind of thing. I don't know what you have going on. Like I said at the start, a whole lot of context and nuance and everything. But I would assume that a fair few of you probably have family and do have a few friends and things like that. And I feel like I'm in a bit of a different position as being someone who's under 30 and has dead parents and doesn't talk to any of my family whatsoever, because they were all sort of... So I have the English side of my family and the Danish side of my family, and the Danish side are okay, but I also just, no one ever like reached out or tried to talk to me. I don't really know how to go about doing it myself, and the English side are all like really racist and horrible, so I don't do anything with them. I don't want to be a part of that. And even just being queer and having parents that like, they weren't like homophobic and non-accepting, but also my mum did get me matching best friend bangles with the girl that she knew was my girlfriend that I was in love with at the time for Christmas. So like, you know, I wasn't like forced out the family. It definitely could have been a hell of a lot worse than when I came out, but also like I wasn't accepted, and I was very much like, if I'm gonna like marry a woman and have a life with a woman and things like that, my family aren't going to understand it and they're not going to get it. So I am going to have to like build a found family anyway, even before my parents were kicking the bucket. I don't know why I went with that. I'm sorry. It's my parents' death. I can talk about it how I want. But you know, like from quite like, from the age of like 16, 17, I was like, I need to build a family of my own, and it's not going to look like the usual, like, I was going to say usual neurotypical family, but like, I hope you get what I mean though. It's just, it's not going to be like a mum and a dad, and it's not going to be my blood family. I'm going to have to build my own family of people that are like, have something similar to me going on. And honestly, again, this is why I think it is like, it's where I find it very important to connect with people and meet different kinds of people and just put myself into different situations. Because last Halloween I went to a Halloween party and met someone who had recently bought a house. Like they'd had a whole, everyone I've ever known that's managed to buy a house that's like around my age has had something fucking horrible happen to them that means they got the money for it. But they'd bought like a very large house nearby and had their friends move in, and they'd done like a household of built, like, found family commune vibes, like in a normal modern day like communal house type of vibe, not like some weird 60s shit, you know, like it wasn't culty, it was really warm. It felt like going into a family home of these people that had built a family together in this home, and it was lovely. And it was the first time I've experienced that ever, you know, and it definitely helped me to like fully visualize the fact that that's an option. You know, it might be fucking difficult to get to, and I don't know how I'm gonna fucking ever manage it, but like people are managing it. It is an option. People are living in like community houses with their found family where it works for them and they have their own space as well as shared spaces and things like that. You know, I think that just being able to meet people that are in different situations, I've massively had my like worldview opened up by like most people that I've met, you know, like everybody is living in a different situation to some degree, and it just, I take bits. I absolutely take bits, and I think that's what you're supposed to do. I think that's what like inspiration and knowledge is, you know, like you learn and you take things on, and it's really massively helped me to build a picture of what I want my life to be and how I want things to be and what I want and the types of people I want around me as well, you know. For a long time I would just make friends with anyone because that's what you're supposed to do. Everyone deserves a chance, and like I'm not going to just be an asshole to someone because I think they're a bit off when I first meet them or whatever else, but I've definitely learned much more about what I like see as green flags. That's one that I never made that video, but I very much more now look for green flags in friendships and in people in general than I do red flags, and I can very much see, like I find it much easier to be like this will work than to be like this won't work, you know, like it's going into a whole different topic there essentially, but I wouldn't be able to learn that or build that or like just have that knowledge without putting myself out there to meet people and connect with people and just try my best. And like I didn't get to be close friends with those people as much as I would have liked to. I thought they were really cool. It's still very difficult to like communicate and build connections as an autistic person, and I think that's also where I do very, very much understand the comments, because it hurts. It fucking hurts to keep putting yourself out there and keep trying to build connections with people and taking people's numbers and sending them like, hey, we met at this place the other night, do you want to like go and do this thing, and not getting an answer, or then being like, oh, I can't this time, sorry, and inviting them to another thing and it's always a sorry and never like, let's do this. And like it's so disheartening and it really fucking hurts. It makes me question like, is there something deeply inherently wrong with me that makes people not like me, or like people like the idea of me and then I talk a bit too much and they realise what I'm really like. Like it brings up so much turmoil and so many difficult things, and I get it, you know. And it's also, I don't want to be like, I've put the work in, thank you, but like I have put a lot of fucking work in at this point, and a lot of reflection, and a lot of like trying to rebuild myself, and just a hell of a lot of like mental and emotional work, to the point where it doesn't feel quite as devastating anymore. And it's something that I think just takes time. I don't think it's something that you can just do overnight, you know. It's taken a very long time for me to build that type of resilience, and to be able to like go out and speak to people and not come home and be like, what the fuck did I do? Why did I say that? Why did I do this? Like I used to come home and just sob after any sort of fucking social interaction, because I was just so embarrassed by like the person that I was, and I absolutely hated myself and hated every interaction. I couldn't connect with people, and like I get it, and it's one of those things where I've just had to keep doing that, and it's taken a lot of time, and it's taken a lot of like fucking turmoil and feeling awful about myself. But I am now at a point where like I am going to fucking brag about this. This is something I'm going to brag about for the rest of my life. I went to see Adam Ant on Saturday, and the person that I got invited, that's another one as well, is I was invited by someone on Instagram to go see Adam Ant, and it would have been very easy to be like, they're an axe murderer, I'm not doing this, I don't know this person, no. And I did shit myself a little bit. I was very fucking anxious. But then I got there and we had a conversation, and we had like, it was a lovely fucking night, and it was someone that I like, oh, they might be watching, I'm sorry, it's so cringe talking about people in videos when they might be watching, but we had a lovely night, and it was a really nice, like, it was just fucking great to meet someone and be like, oh, we mesh, we connect, like we have similar thoughts and similar opinions, and you also have different ones, you're interesting, and like that. It's moments like that. That's the thing, is like the last like 6 times that I've gone out and tried to like have a fun night out, it has been a bit cringe and awkward, and like I've dealt with it, I've managed it, it's been fine. It's not stuff I'm looking back on and be like, that was a great night, I really enjoyed that, you know? And then because I'd accepted, and like I've put myself in a position where people quite often reach out to me, and I very much appreciate it, and sometimes it's really hard and scary and I don't reach back out, and I'm really sorry, it's nothing personal, it's me being awkward and scared. But every now and again I actually do reach back out, and it goes so fucking well, and it's so lovely, and it really, it's validating as fuck to be like, I went out, they were on the guest list because they knew the guitarist, so we went backstage after the Adamant show to hang out with Adamant's band. And it's one of those things where anyone that's ever been backstage at like any venue knows that it's just some like shitty little room and like wine in a paper cup. Like it's not actually like the glam rock 70s like I wish it was, but it's still fucking cool, and it's not an experience I ever expected to fucking have. And then I ended up having quite a lengthy conversation with one of Adamant's band members about like being autistic, because he thinks that he might be, and it was, you know, it's these experiences that it makes the shit worth it, you know? It makes all the times that I've gone out and had a horrible fucking time and really not enjoyed myself and had to like deal with that and build that resilience and build that confidence to go out and do it again. And then when it goes right, it's all fucking worth it, you know? And I know how it feels when it keeps going wrong and you can't build a connection and people just fucking suck. But not everyone does. And when you meet the people that really don't suck, I do think it makes all the rest of it worth it. And it is, I don't like pitting like neurodivergent people versus the neurotypicals against each other, but I do think it's the type of thing where as autistic people, as neurodivergent people, if you're different from the norm, it is probably going to be that little bit harder to build connections. You're probably going to have more times that it goes wrong, and I know that personally I've had like more times than the average person that it has gone like catastrophically wrong, and I'm like, you're literally like so abusive, I shouldn't have put myself in this situation. And like I've ended up in situations I really didn't want to fucking be in that were really traumatic, and I'm not saying that like it's okay because I had this one really good night, but I just think I would be living such a sad life and missing out on so much if I used that as a reason to never go out and never do anything again. And obviously learn from those situations when you can, and you can't always do it because sometimes it is just that the other person was an absolute fucking cunt. Sometimes you couldn't have done anything differently, it's just that they were a twat, like very much so. But learning, you know, like really processing it's because they were a dickhead. It's not because people are awful, it's because that person was awful. I think I would just be missing out on a lot of things and not have the people I have in my life, and just, you know, even making stuff online was so that I could reach out and connect with people, and it's deeply, massively improved my life. I have a group chat full of friends that understand me. I got invited to go out and see Adamant, like, you know, like every now and again it has this like major gigantic impact on my real life where something really positive happens because I put myself out there for people to connect with, and it's really fucking beautiful, to be honest with you. And it's one of those things where like, again, I do want to very, very much cement that I understand everybody is different in general anyway, never mind between autistic people. And if you're someone that just, you don't want human connection, you're fine on your fucking own and you're happy that way, good for you. Like, we're allowed to be different people and have different lives and have different wants and needs and experiences. But I also just have some comments that make me feel so sad, because I feel like you sound like such lovely people that have just had such horrible things happen to you that you didn't deserve to have happen to you, and then the good things that you do deserve to have happen to you aren't going to get to happen to you because you're locking yourself away and not giving anybody a chance. And like, be careful, be smart, try to keep yourself safe. But I think that human connection is so beautiful and so important, and I have so many people in my life that I really like and really adore and really love, and that like people that I've gotten to know so well and people that I want to get to know so well. And it's also a thing of like, I very much get it, because when I go out and when I talk to people, I prepare for the worst. I am expecting everyone to be a fucking asshole. I'm expecting everyone to be like the worst person you've ever met. I really don't think highly of like the general public or like people as a conglomerate. Like I am someone that will say like, oh, I don't really like people. And it's one of those things that's true, but it's not. Because I have such low hopes and such low expectations, but I still put myself into the situations of experiencing it, and it's not as often as I would love it to be, but I am reasonably often surprised by people in a really, really lovely, pleasant way, where I'm like, oh, I am able to talk to people and connect with people and feel understood by people and feel like I understand where they're coming from and be interested in them and want to hear more about them and want to know them and want them to get to know me, and just, it can be a really fucking nice time and a really nice situation. And when I find the right people, I fucking love people. Like I really, really do. And I don't think it'll be that way for everyone. I really know that it isn't. We're all different. But I think that a lot of people would find themselves really pleasantly surprised if they are able to find the right situations for themselves. And it's fucking hard. Like I'm 28, you know, and I'm only just like getting into a position where I'm like, I feel like I can tell when people are going to abuse me, and then I don't become close with them, you know? Like I've fairly recently been like very, very hurt by the closest friend I had. Like it's definitely fucking hard, and it's definitely often quite unpleasant. But when it isn't unpleasant, it can be so fucking lovely. And like I said before, I think it makes a lot of it worth it. So I'm going to stop rambling now, because I feel like I am just saying stuff that I've already said. And like, this isn't even necessarily to like change anybody's opinion. I think a lot of us have the opinions we have based on what we've learned and the things we've experienced, and me making a video being like, I had a really good night out, guys, isn't going to make you suddenly be like, maybe people can be good to me after all. Like, I get it. But also, maybe there's someone that does just need that little bit of encouragement to like do that thing, message that person, go to that place, build that friendship. Like, you know, sometimes it's really worth it and sometimes it's really nice. So if you've been thinking about it, this can be your little sign, this can be your little prompt, you know? If you don't want that, that's fine. It's all right. Like we're all different. It's all right. You know, like some things I am like, you should do this. This is a person thing to do. And this isn't one of them. We're all different. And like, quite frankly, if you sit in your house doing fuck all, it don't affect me any, does it? Like I care about people and I want the best for everyone, but I also don't actually care what you do. And if you think it's the best for you, fucking go for it. It's none of my business. So that's where we're rounding off today. As always, you can like and subscribe here if you want to. You can find me over on Instagram or TikTok if you'd like to see more content from me. I don't post on Instagram very often, but I did take some pictures of Toya and Adam Ant, so I probably will post those soon, to be fair. It's taken me fucking forever to recover, to be honest with you. I feel like an old person. It's taking me like a week to recover from seeing Adam Ant and Toya. But yeah, you can also find me over on Patreon or Ko-fi. If you join on Patreon, you can find the link to the Discord, where we have a little online community going on, and you can probably meet people that you'll get along with. Maybe, I don't know. Some of us are nice there, and some people, I was gonna like name drop someone then to be like, he's an asshole, but we are actually friends. I do actually like the people in the Discord. So join me on Patreon if you want to do that, or you can email me. I don't actually want to be behind a paywall, and I wouldn't be able to afford to be there myself if it was. So you can email me, message me on Instagram. If you can find me somewhere, message me and ask for it, I'll give it to you. Whoever you are, wherever you are, I hope you have a lovely morning, evening, day, afternoon, week, month, year, and I will see you again in a couple of days.